The Top Times Report is a very useful tool for teams to be able to offer swimmers something they don't get in most of their other sports. Swimming is one of the few sports that will allow a swimmer to be able to see every swim that they've had throughout the season, their career as a swimmer with their program. This is a nice thing that teams can offer swimmers at the end of each year, and ultimately, if they've been with your team for a great period of time and you've had this system in place, you can actually give them every swim that they've had as a summer league swimmer for your program when they graduate from the program. In order to generate a Top Times report, if we go to Reports, Performance Reports, and go to Top Times, this allows you to generate reports that either track the top times in a particular event or the top times for each swimmer. This is a great way of keeping track of things like a top 10 list of the top 10 fastest freestyle times at your particular pool, or the top 10 fastest 9 and 10-year-old backstroke times. You can look at the available filters, and you have scores of options here. Gender, we could just do the boys. Age, we could just do the 7 to 8-year-olds. Stroke and distance, we could select just the freestyle or the backstroke. Distance, we could just do 25s, 50s, 100s, and so on. Use time since, we could select to do times that are just current to this year, or you could select a particular range, and you can tell it to use the since dates. If you sort by name, this is going to list off all the top times for a particular swimmer. If you sort by event, stroke and distance, this actually gives you a top times report for your entire program. You can select the option that you like that's applicable for your situation. Under prelim finals filter, you'll usually use all. For splits, you probably won't use those. Course options. You have a great number of options here, and this is also a good way to convert times to see them easily in a report. YO is just going to show yard times. SO will just show short course meter times. YY will actually take every time in the system and convert it to actual yard times. SS will actually convert all of the yard times into meter times and display those as meter times. Event filters, you can do the individual events, the relay events, take your pick. You can select top how many. One will just give the top one fastest time, either for that event or for that swimmer. If you go 0, it'll actually include every time, every swim that's ever been done, either in that event or for that swimmer. You can actually include the relay leadoff legs or not include them. Take your pick. And again, the formatting options, you can do one column, which will create a report that's got a great deal of information on it, including when the meet was, who it was against, and other information. The 2 and 3 column reports save paper but don't have quite as much information. I'm going to stick with the 1 column. We're going to sort it by name. Oh, I've got to select a course. Let's just go with yards. And here's your top times report, sorted by name. This takes every swimmer, every event that they've done, the date it was done, who it was done against. Pretty neat option. We'll close that, and we're still at the top time screen. If we go event, stroke, and distance, say we wanted to do the top 10 times for the particular program that we were involved with. If we go top how many, 0 would be all times. Let's just go 10. If we click on create report, it's going to say, do we want to show the fastest time for each swimmer for each event? This would give the option of just including one time for each swimmer, which would be their fastest time. If we wanted to do the top overall times, we would say no. I'm going to say yes just to show more swimmers. And there's the boys 25 free, 25 back, and so on. Once again, this is a great tool for teams to kind of provide that extra carrot for the kids to see what they've done. Again, not very many other sports give the swimmers the option of seeing every performance that they've had. This is a great tool for teams to use, and I strongly advise that you do so.